I was telling. All right, so you know what it is, right? This one right here is gonna be deep. We're gonna get into the psychological effects of what's going on with Karmelo Anthony first weekend in prison. I did 23 years in federal prison, so I know what my first weekend was like when they sentenced me to life plus 20 years in federal prison. I did day one, I did take two, now I'm doing the weekend because it's the weekend. Now, for you to fully understand where we at, he did 35 years is what he has to do, right? A prison sentence doesn't begin when the judges speak. That's what you have to understand. Just because the judge gave you a sentence don't mean the sentence began. Your sentence don't begin at sentencing day. Your sentence begins when you enter that dark, cold, lonely cell. It begins the first time you're alone with your thoughts. Because handcuffs can hold your wrists, but regret grabs hold of your mind. And once regret grabs it and gets in your cell with you, it don't leave. I mean, imagine sitting there. That's Karmelo Anthony right now sitting in that cell. And he has time to think about everything that I'm getting ready to describe to you, because this is what I went through. Let me get that straight. You know what I mean? And I know I'm a strong man, and I had to fight through this myself, and this is a 19-year-old child. Now, the jewel in that is, the hardest prison isn't built with concrete and steel. The hardest prison is built inside your own mind. And we're gonna tap into your mind right now and tell you what happens in your mind when you're sitting there and you just got a lengthy sentence of decades. Him 35 years, me life plus 20. Why the weekend hits different? That's what you want to ask, right? Why does the weekend hit different, right? Why am I even doing this on the weekend? There's gonna be plenty of weekends you're gonna miss, right? But that first weekend, that hit different because Monday through Friday, there's still movement. There's court dates, there's lawyers, there's paperwork, there's people talking, people visiting you. Hope moving around you. Because any form of being in the court is hope when you're in this situation. But the weekend is different. The weekend is where reality comes to sit down beside you and say, hey, I'm your conscience. How you feel now? You still think you was standing on business? This is how it creeps up on you. Nobody's coming. Nobody's calling your name. Nobody's opening the door. The clock slows down. The walls get closer and closer because they're caving in. Your thoughts get louder. A young man can survive noise, but silence forces him to listen to himself. Karmelo Anthony right now is listening to himself. Somebody please send this to both parents so they could see what's going on. Because this is the reality. It's all I'm painting. It's not to pick a side. It's just for the mother to understand that she needs to be there for her child now. The father needs to be there. The family structure needs to be there for him right now. Just like the family structure, family and friends need to be there for the parents of Austin Metcalf. Because they're going through their own grief. I did a video that I'm getting ready to re-air about what the mothers are going through. They told me I got to repackage it. See, they give me a hard time, so I'm going to tell y'all like this, right? What I need y'all to do is I need y'all to hit the like button. I just want y'all to see that it's real. Let me get this for you real quick, right? I need y'all to hit the like button because they're trying to hold this type of content out, right? I got my plaque for 100,000 subscribers, so I know my joint is fire. I get 100%, comments and likes. But it's not enough. Y'all have to comment, you have to like on your favorite subscribers that you watching these videos on, because our type of content, like my content being that I'm so real and I'm talking about the mind state, and I'm not sitting here talking about race issue with it, what Charleston White said, what the father said. I'm not into none of that gossip. I'm not into the rumors, and I'm not into the slander. This is to reach the youth of all ages, races, creeds, nationalities, and everything else. So you have to hit the like button to get this message out. You have to put a comment to get this message out, because other than that, YouTube is not going to grab it. You know, a young man can survive noise, but silence forces him to listen to himself. And that's when all the demons come rushing in. The jewel in that is the weekend doesn't attack your body. The weekend attacks your mind, because you left alone with it. Why Saturday mornings feels like a funeral. This morning felt like a funeral to Karmelo. Saturday morning outside is freedom. Kids are sleeping late. Families are making breakfast. Couples are making plans, cuddling, chilling. Friends are laughing. They're all on the phone, texting, sending TikTok back and forth. The world keeps moving. But inside the cell, time feels dead right now to Karmelo. Time feels dead. That's how he looks, holding his head, sitting on that bed. The realization starts creeping in this very weekend, that first weekend. I'm not going home. Next weekend, I'm not going home. Next month, I'm not going home. Next year, I'm not going home. This is when his mind starts coming to reality on that first weekend. The mind starts traveling places the body can't. And that's the sad part. Your mind starts traveling places that your body can't. And every place it travels reminds him of where he isn't. Sometimes the most painful place in prison is your memory. Did you hear what I just said? I'm giving y'all jewels right now from an old convict that 26 and a half years in federal prison. Remember what I'm telling you. Sometimes the most painful place in the prison is your memory. When that math starts hitting different, at first 35 years sounds like a number. Then Saturday comes, and then the mind start calculating. 35 Christmas, 35 birthdays, 35 celebrations, 35 summers. The math starts becoming life. You stop counting years. You start counting moments. You'll never get back. The number doesn't get smaller. It gets heavier. The jewel in that, right? I like to give a jewel in everything that I say. The sentence isn't measured in years. The sentence is measured in moments lost. The sound of the unit, right? This way the sound of the unit gonna start affecting young Karmelo. Now he's settling in, everybody's waking up. The unit never really gets quiet. A man yelling down a tear, a television screaming in the distance, someone arguing with nobody, arguing with himself because he's losing his mind, someone arguing with somebody about nothing, something they should be laughing at. And then there's someone laughing when nothing is funny and no one is around them. A steel door slams, another slams, then another. Don't you get tired of that, Unique? That's what they asked me throughout my bid. The officer walks by. Keys is jingling. I hate to hear keys jingling. Metal hitting metal. When I hear keys jingling like, right, let's take a ride. Yesterday, I was out in the Bronx, and there was a UPS man walking behind me, right? And there was a kid walking behind me. The kid was playing with something in his hands, and it was jingling like keys. And I jump and I'm reaching. I'm like, whoa. just a kid with keys. But in the prison, those are symbolic to the deuces, meaning violence. All the police on the compound is running down towards wherever the drama is at, and all you're hearing is the keys jingling. And I heard a child's keys jingling, and in my mind, I thought they was coming to attack me. That's trauma. Look at the picture behind me. Study the picture so you know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about, and you can focus on the words that are coming out my mouth, like Chris Tucker said in Fridays. Every time those keys get closer, hope used to rise for a second, because when the police walk down the T and they're coming towards my cell, I'm hoping he's coming to tell me some good news. I won my appeal, anything. Maybe someone is stopping. Maybe someone is speaking. Maybe someone is opening the door to finally let me out. Then the keys keep moving and silence comes back. And no one stopped at your door. It's just you and your silence, you and your thoughts, you and your regret, you and your consequences. The jewel in that, I'm going to say, let me come up with a jewel for that, Ron. Loneliness can make a man look forward to hearing a stranger's footsteps. The fight with the man in the mirror. This is where he's going to fight, with the man in the mirror. The real battle isn't prison. The real battle is the conversation happening inside his head. Why did this happen? What could I have done differently, he's thinking. What moment changed everything? The mind keeps playing events over and over and over again, trying to find one decision, 1 second, one choice that could have changed the future. And he wouldn't be sitting on that bunk holding his head wondering, what the hell have I done? But prison doesn't let you rewind life. It forces you to live with it. And the jewel in that is, the past becomes dangerous when you keep trying to negotiate with something you cannot change. When the walls start moving, right? Not physically, I'm talking about mentally. The cage isn't getting smaller, but it's feeling smaller. The ceiling feels lower, the walls feel closer. The air feels heavier, but fear is growing within you now. And fear changes everything around you. This is where many men discover who they really are. I found out who I really was at my lowest point like this. Not when life is easy, that's the easy part. But when people are cheering, definitely not when people are cheering, but when you're alone. Pressure doesn't build character. Pressure reveals it. Pressure will reveal who you are. I'm going to do a video on Lil Durk and the pressure that the feds is putting on him. If y'all want that, put in the comments to remind me. But remember, y'all, remember what I told you, right? Remember what I told you before we go any further. Cop the book of Raw in Harlem. Didn't tell you that, but cop the book of Raw in Harlem at rawinharlem.com. And remember to hit the like button and put a comment. I don't care if it's emoji, whatever you put something in there, because they're trying to fight this kind of content. You know what I mean? Like I said, thank y'all for the subs. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And I ain't done yet. I just want to make sure that y'all know to hit the like in the comments to get this out there, because I know y'all saying, oh, all the youth want. I'm reading the comments. Oh, all the youth need to hear this. Everyone need to hear this. I gave this to my son. I gave this to my grandson. I gave this to my nephew. Oh my God, thank you, Unique. But now all I'm actually do is hit the like button and put a comment so that it could get in the algorithm, because this is not the content they're trying to give to you. But this is what I'm bringing you here, Unique Mecca Audio. The realization that changes everything, right? This is where the realization changed everything for Karmelo Anthony. Then comes the moment Not the sentence, not the courtroom, not the headlines. The moment. The moment a young man realizes life outside will continue without him. When I realized life will continue without me, is when one of my child's mothers said, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby, and I know it's not mine. So that was the end of the dream and the hope of going home to be with that person. This is what you enter and what I'm trying to prevent you from going into. Because the moment a young man realizes life outside will continue without him, people will graduate. People will get married. People will have children. Like I said, people will grow older. The world keeps spinning. And for the first time, he understands that consequences don't pause for nobody. Nobody. The jewel in that is the streets give out moments. Consequences collect years. It's Let me give you the final thought, Ryan. Been on here long enough, Ryan. But this gets a little emotion. This isn't a story about prison. This isn't a story about decisions, and this definitely is not a story about consequences. This is a story about how one moment can follow a person for decades. And that's why every young person watching this should understand something. The most dangerous thing you can lose isn't your freedom. It's the future you never get a chance to live. And the final jewel in that is everybody wants to be grown until grown decisions bring grown consequences. They go that word consequences again. Now, I'm gonna ask y'all 10 questions to help y'all, help get this video out into the algorithms fade. When do you think a prison sentence really begin to you? When do you really think a prison sentence really begin? When the judge says it, or when you're finally alone with it? What's harder to fight in prison? Other people or your own thoughts? What do you think is harder to fight in prison? Other people or your own thoughts? Most former prisoners would tell you it's your own mind. You tell me, what do you think? Do you think one bad decision should define a person's entire life? Why or why not? What's the longest part of a prison sentence? The years or the regret? Make sure you rewind this so you can catch all the questions to answer, because I know these are deep. Could you sit alone in a room for 23 hours a day? Can you sit alone in a room for 23 hours a day? I'm not even going to describe what that room is like, because that room is like the size of half of your bathroom. If you put both hands out, your palms is on the wall. You sit down, your knees is on the wall. You feel like you can't breathe. You feel like as you breathe out, it's coming right back in. The room is so small. So can you sit alone in a room for 23 hours, much less that size? How long before it starts affecting your thinking? How long do you think it'll be before it starts affecting your thinking? What do you think hurts more? Losing your freedom or losing your future? Put that in the comments. What do you think hurts more? Losing your freedom or losing your future? Explain why. How many young people actually think about consequences before acting? Out of 10. How many out of 10 young people think about acting before, think about consequences before acting? And be honest with that. Do prisons punish the body more or the mind more? Do you think prison punish the body more or the mind more? Which one lasts longer? If you could go back and change one decision in your life, would you? What would it be and why? What's the biggest lesson young people should learn from this story with Karmelo Anthony? Put your answers in the comments. What do you think the biggest lesson young people should learn from this story? These questions is geared towards having you speak on how you feel so we could all have therapy together. Because right now, Karmelo Anthony's locked in a cell, stuck with his thoughts, can't think, can't move, can't call his friend, can't do anything, stuck. And this is just a window into the life of Karmelo Anthony's first weekend. And before I go, I'm gonna show you why I do this, and I'm gonna show a good brother that I met. All right, I'm gonna show him again. All right, let's go. I thought I did him in the beginning. Who knows? We're gonna find out now.
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique. You know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, you know, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, you know, if, you know, should be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca audio, I feel it, and I, like, to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, maybe. And it just took my mind way off of that, way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
Yeah.
and from watching this man, I just felt like, you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops. Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top Beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime.